What is going on, everyone? My name is Northy, and today I am unfortunately recording this one right after the North Melbourne versus West Coast game. The results just came out, and fair to say I'm not happy at all. It's been a tough day. Been a very tough day, but we have some results to go through. We're not going to get fussed too much because our season's been over for quite some time, so it's just more of the same, really. But we're going to have a look at our teams, see where we can improve, see things that we can do better, because you can see here we did not get a prize card this week, so we're going to see where things went wrong. First off, let's go star powers, because star powers, once again, I just can't get lucky. I can't get lucky. I want to point out sharpshooters first, because sharpshooters was so frustrating. I had mentioned that I thought Kono was going to get shut down, so I didn't pick him. I actually took him out. He dropped 100 points, because of course he did. Tex even had himself an incredible game up against Port Adelaide. They absolutely pumped him. I am so shocked that they won that easily. I thought it would have at least been close, but they just had their way. 7 goals for the Texan after Kono's 6. I thought Kono's 6 against Collingwood would lock it up. I thought that was the most impressive thing I've seen in such a long time. And then Tex went ahead and scored 7 goals. Damn near outscored Port Adelaide by himself. He was close, but he wasn't quite there. And my God, 2 incredible performances. And who did we pick? The 49-point Mitch Lewis. Because, yeah, just nothing seemed to go right for me. Hawthorn in general just wasn't the best of picks. James Sicily drops 95? Really, Sicily? That was disappointing. Jack McRae, 107. Even he did better. Cripps didn't have a great game. Still did better. Laird, 115. Steele, 16. Kelly, 122. Same with Brayshaw. And Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt is the name that is going to curse me for the rest of the year, I swear. I cannot seem to pick him when he plays well, ever. We go to Young Guns, and thankfully he is a little better. Like, Chad Warner was the 4th best, but Will Day ended up being the best player. Just makes no sense to me. And then our epic, Doherty with one of his rare poor performances. Max Gawn is in serious consideration for a regular pickup. Same with Libba. These 3 are just the ones you got to keep looking out for. Doherty had one of his rare games where he actually just wasn't needed as much. Carlton had a ripper game. But yeah, Doherty only needed the 18 disposals, the 3 marks, and, you know, played effective enough to help his team win. So with that being said, the Silver Star Powers team only got us 430. What the hell is that? That was a horrible week. 409 is a horrible score. Damn near less than, what, 70 per player? Maybe a little more, 80. 80 is 400 between these two. So averaged out to a little over 80 per player, which is not cutting it at all. Especially when I've got players like Bond in. Like, we need more than 86 from Bont. I did mention it, that Bont was playing at Mars Stadium, and I don't know how good Mars Stadium is, but it's really no excuse because players like Tim English, Bailey Dale, they all smashed it. Even Jack McRae. It's just Bont only had 86. Man, that's tough. That's really, really tough. The likes of Crouch, Canelio, Davies Uniacke, Petraka, McCluggage, Anderson, Rosie, and Sarong all over 100 points. So, really disappointing that Bontempelli is down here. Super disappointing. Unfortunately, that is live. We go to Ultra Star Powers, and you'll see here a lot of similar players. The one difference with sharpshooters, Charlie Cameron actually didn't end up being the worst pick. I really didn't expect Charlie Cameron to drop 83 points, but of course I will take it. Charlie Cameron with 83 is definitely better than the Mitch Lewis with 49, so at least there's an upgrade there. Double points were Bont and Sicily. Not great. Again, Jack Steele I had last week, and he ended up dropping 116. That was so frustrating. Then we got this one here with 4 double points players doing better. Of course, that makes sense, doesn't it? Just frustrating stuff. And then Steel Sidebottom was the only other choice, really. But go here, Jack Darling had himself a massive performance against North. Yeah, just frustrating stuff overall. Oh, it's been a tough week, boy. Can you tell I'm frustrated? Can you tell I'm sad? This has been so tough. Oh, Steel Sidebottom with the 82, though. Just about bang average. He looks like he was going to have an amazing game. He was leading fantasy point at the end of the first, and I was really excited. And then just dropped off a little bit afterwards, but it's okay, it is what it is. We checked the ladder, we finished 172nd. Ended up having over 700 points, which is okay, I guess, but obviously not what we're looking for. Need to be in the top 20 to get ourselves a prize card, but nowhere near with 172. That's all for Star Powers. We have to just live and learn and forget about it quickly. This was hard to forget about because Sicily's in here again, man, and so is Bond. These two. Bontempelli stayed in. Obviously had himself a really good performance a week before, so I said, why not? And then let me down with 86. Look how many people did better than him, man. Just scrolling through all that. 140 from Merritt is going to haunt me, man. It's going to haunt me. James Sicily, though, is definitely another one that was tough because we had Dawson last week. Of course, I take him out and he drops the second most points in the week. Of course, that just makes sense. Ron Marshall, not a bad pick, but Tim English again with 153 at Mars Stadium, the 25 disposals and the 8 marks. What a game from Tim English. 153 is very impressive, but Rowan Marshall, unfortunately, was the pick this week, so I'm not terribly mad at it. And then Max Gorn was definitely our best one out of all of them, but even then, I think about it, we took out Errol Goulden. We took out Goulden, 142. It's like anything that can go wrong will go wrong this week. And so our top 4 ended up seeing us with a rank of 206. We got over 100 per player with the helps of Marshall and Gorn getting well over 100. But you can see here, people with 569 points, meaning I'm guessing they went with Dawson or maybe Whitfield, Merritt or Dunkley. There would have been English in there as well, and Maxi Gorn or Errol Goulden is my pick for the top team at least. But yeah, it's just a frustrating one for top 4 because it's like we keep making these small tweaks here and there to try and get us that change that helps us get a prize card, and it just fails us elsewhere. It's really tough. Gorn, even being a good change, was still not the right change. We had it right the first time round. The top 4 just did not go well for us, unfortunately, in general, but we'll check top 18, and I really thought I had a chance with top 18. I think the likes of Lewis not getting himself high up there with only 49 definitely hurt, but we look down here, and there's a fair few, like Jackson probably could have been better. Only the 1 mark and 16 disposals from the Ruckman, and from Lukey Jackson, just so rare to see. We had Gordon, we had Gorn. Those ones are pretty easy to pick at the moment, but Toby Green maybe one I have to try and consider more. Kerno may have to stay in more often with the way he's playing. Nick Martin, only 67. He's starting to drop off real hard now. It's a disappointing watch to have to endure, but you know, it shouldn't be what wrecks us during the week. These 2 picks definitely did really hurt though. We're gonna look at the midfield though, and midfield is definitely where it becomes a little tough. We'll check Josh Dunkley first because Dunkley actually did the best, 137. Oh well, second best to Merritt, who, guess what? We took out Zach Merritt for Josh Dunkley, and you'd think that'd be okay because we only lost 3 points, but I could have just kept Merritt in. Taranto, he dropped 77. 77 for a dude who was talking about getting a Brownlow medal this year. Rosie with 106. He's getting that average around 100, 110. Again, Bont just disappointing. Taranto, though. Taranto was super disappointing. So frustrating to look at. But we have to keep moving on. We've already talked about the ruck. And the back line. I thought the back line wasn't too bad out of really just that top 4 pick. Dawson, 134. Stewart, 112. Not a bad pick at all. Sinclair, 106. Dacos at 97. Doherty, 87. And Sicily, 95. Probably the biggest shockers. Dacos, I'd also kind of consider that as well, even though he's close to 100, and same with Sicily. But I would consider them both poor performers for this week, considering that we expect them to really smash out some good performances with the way they've been playing this year. And like, look at that. Our average this season and for the round was basically all the top players. And the 2 in between, Stewart and Sinclair, guess what? They were up here. Day, Whitfield. You just can't, like, script this stuff. It is so frustrating to deal with, but we'll check the ladder. 124. We managed to average over 100 per player again, but you can see there were 3 people with over 2,000 this week, and 1 who basically had 2,000, so prize card easy for them. You can see here, just with a quick look, this was a really tough week to try and pull off a prize card. Had to get over 1938. That is a pretty high score for a minimum. Usually in the 1800s is what I expect, but yeah, just another frustrating week. Not a single game mode in the top 100. For a lot of people, it gets worse when we go to tips. We'll look at the tips for this week as well. We'll go over to Team Coach Tips, my score for round 20. Hopefully it's there, but yeah, only the 2 out of 9, only the 2. Really, really tough this week. A lot of people expected Port to beat Adelaide with the way their season's gone. Got pumped. Collingwood beating Carlton. No, that didn't end up happening. Carlton ended up taking that. Essendon losing by 2 points to Sydney. I was surprised Sydney managed to top over them, but Essendon fall to 13th. That is a mighty fall from where they were earlier. Geelong was the biggest shock. biggest one of the week. 64-71 to Freo? Really? Are we like throwing back to what, 2011? When did they play in the grand final? I can't remember, but throwing it back a long time ago for when the Dockers beat them in the qualifying final. But Brisbane losing to Gold Coast in the Q Clash, it was surprising for sure. I still think Geelong was the most surprising, but Brisbane losing like that to Gold Coast could be seen as the second most surprising. Was a Gold Coast stadium at Heritage Bank Arena, but still, Brisbane in Queensland, you'd think they'd be able to pull it off. One of the only tips we got right, Saints beating Hawks by 29 points. I was one of the few people, it looks like, who said I still kind of believe in the Saints in getting this game over the Hawks, and with their first quarter performance, I was bang on the money. I was very happy with that, but Melbourne ended up beating Richmond today at the MCG. High scoring affair, you gotta love those types of games. Don't want to talk about this one. I do not want to talk about this one. Just watch the live stream reaction if you want to see my reaction to that. But Western Bulldogs going down to GWS at Ballarat. That was very, very surprising, in my opinion. Although, a lot of people will be like, how could that be surprising? GWS have been amazing as of late. I still thought the Dogs had some really, really good play in them. Obviously, I think back to when they only lost by 2 goals to Collingwood. They had a really strong win the week before, but then they have losses to get teams like Sydney, and they have losses to GWS and stuff like that. Maybe it's just Sydney in general. New South Wales is a curse for the Dogs, but who knows? But that is it for round 20. Definitely have to say a disappointing round. Definitely have to say disappointing. You can only move on and hope that the next week is better. Especially with my football team. I'm kind of, scared to wear my jumper out in public now. We gotta just ignore it. Worry about the rest of the season. Enjoy what you've got. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Northy's month of Team Coach, as was shown earlier today, coming out tomorrow, the very first one. Oh boy, I'm excited to get into it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member if you feel like it. Thank you all very much. See you on the next one. Goodbye.